I have with me Mr. and Miss Loran Smith. Welcome to TV 35.
Thank you.
Glad
y'all. James.
Glad y'all took time out of your busy schedule. I know it's pretty hectic. You're on a book tour again, and Mr. Smith's got a new book out, Let the Big Dog Eat Again, which is slam full of recipes. Yeah. There's no doubt. Can you grill any of them?
Yes.
Because you know in South Georgia we like to grill now. Is any of the recipes we can grill in there?
A lot of recipes you can grill because so many people take their grills to the tailgate.
Right.
So we made sure of that.
Right. And everybody knows, Mr. Loran, you actually joined the Bulldogs back, I guess, in the early 70s, worked with them around 36 years, I guess, wasn't it? A long time.
Well, I actually went to work when Vince Dooley and Joel Eves took over the program in 1964, but I had been a student there, and I had worked in sports information as a student assistant to Dan McGill. So my life at Georgia dates back to 1960, a couple of years before that, actually. So yeah. I've had an ongoing relationship with Georgia for almost 50 years.
Yeah,
a little more, maybe.
Even longer with, I know we just lost Larry Munson, what a great Georgia Bulldog, but you knew him back even in his Vanderbilt days, didn't you?
I did. When I was a student at Georgia, I hung around the sports information office. Dan McGill was always very accommodating and helpful. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to learn the business as best I could, so he would take me on trips, and then I became the business manager of, the assistant sports information director. But one of my responsibilities was to handle the advance arrangements when the team traveled. So if we played Vanderbilt in Nashville, I would go early and reconfirm all the hotel or motel room arrangements, the bus schedule, and the meal times, do all of that, just part of team travel. And Larry was entrenched then as the Vanderbilt play-by-play voice, and I got to know him then, and because two of his good friends were writers in Nashville. They had competing papers, the Nashville Banner and the Nashville Tennessee, and that's unheard of today. And Larry and Waxo Green and John Bibb were great friends. And I'd see the three of them wherever Vandy went. They came to Athens. I usually go by the hotel and fraternize with them. So knew Larry back in his time with the Commodores.
It seemed like I remember, of course, I've read hundreds of your articles in the newspaper, but did you mention one time he actually had a popular fishing show way back?
He did.
Do I remember that right?
He did. He had a show that ran in Nashville, but I think it was an outdoor show. So when he did fishing shows, I think that was probably his preference because he grew up fishing in Minnesota. But he also was a duck hunter, and he did a lot of shows, I think, the outdoors, all hunting and fishing that he was able to do in that area of Tennessee.
And something else you wrote, clear this up for me. Now, after we lost to South Carolina, it seemed like I remember you saying that Georgia wouldn't lose another game this year and then play in the SEC. Do I remember that right? Pretty good prediction right there, wasn't it?
I'm certainly not that clairvoyant. I would like to have, I'd like to take credit for that, but I'm very conservative.
From the Dooley years, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we could, but
right.
I wouldn't have forecast such a bold statement. I don't think maybe I said offhandedly.
Seemed like you said it on a radio show or something.
Probably.
So, yeah.
The thing we need to do now is just win them all.
Right.
Taking them one game at a time. I said that.
Well, we've got a class act as a coach, and as you know, early on in the year, people wanting Coach Rick gone, and them same people at the end of the year want him to have a longer contract. So, it's amazing. But you mentioned that his faith and patience was one of the keys to Georgia's success. Tell me about that.
Well, I think Coach Rick just has a philosophy that things should be done right. I think he's in a business where some coaches will bend the rules in order to be successful. A lot of pressure to win now, a lot of money out there for those who succeed as coaches. So I think he has the feeling that he can counsel with his players and he can influence them to do things the right way, which he calls the Georgia way, and that they can win, even though we may line up against teams sometimes that have better players at certain positions and more players say than we do. As that turned out, I think you'd have to say LSU has more outstanding players than Georgia, more depth, although if we'd had a couple of breaks in the first half, it could have been much different. Score doesn't indicate that now, but our perspective is that we really should have capitalized early in the game, and that would have made a difference. He's very patient with people. He doesn't blow off the handle. I've never seen him. I've seen him get irritated, but I've never seen him blow his stack, which you, I think, are apt to see with most human beings. Some of the best people sometimes things get just a little bit too much. They can't handle it. Now, Coach Rick, I've never seen him lose his
He's
cool.
great, isn't he? We love him in Dublin. I've heard him twice. He's come and gave his testimony. What a great testimony.
Oh, yes.
And just a lovely wife, just great family there. But so, Miss Smith, do you love football?
Well, I do love football. It's been mine and Lauren's life since we married in 1962. I enjoy the entertaining part of it, the television sponsors and our friends, and the television people that come into town to cover the game. We have for dinner usually on Friday night before the game.
One thing about y'all, you've always taken the time to spend with people, and you knew the Georgia football history was so important, didn't you?
Well, absolutely, and people took time with us. We always remember that, so we enjoyed that part of it.
Tell me about the book, Miss Smith. Y'all wrote this together, and there's a lot, not only for Georgia Bulldog people, but I think anybody would enjoy these recipes, wouldn't they?
I think they would. They're definitely very easy recipes to follow, and most people, you know, put their best foot forward and gave me their favorite recipe. Sometimes a recipe is in there that's never been printed before, such as Bill and Lynn Griffin up in Pittsburgh. And we have a lot of celebrity people. Phyllis George gave us a recipe, former Miss America. We have Herschel Walker's lentil soup.
Well, you know we love Herschel here.
Yeah,
He's one of our own. So.
Yeah. So I think anybody would enjoy the book. And it's not just a cookbook. It's a really interesting book. Lauren wrote a lot of vignettes about the people giving us the recipes that I think people will enjoy reading.
Not a bad recipe, and I just happened to open it at random. Baby back ribs. Now, who would not love it? Why did I open it at you, Ray?
You're hungry.
That's exactly right. But a great book, Let the Big Dog Eat. Where locally can you purchase it?
Well, we didn't get it out into bookstores, but Kroger has them, particularly in Atlanta. I think that includes Macon. And we have them in certain bookshops. We're trying to, hopefully we'll have a second printing and we can...
And probably online.
You can get it online.
Tell it and we'll put the address on the screen there.
Okay. Our son-in-law is the managing editor of our company,
Family
5 Points
affair.
Press. Yes, it is. And his email is cmartin@5pointspress.com.
Okay. And we're going to put that right there on the screen, make it easy on you. All you got to do is log on right there and get a copy. Over 300 new recipes. Right. So we appreciate y'all joining us today.
Well,
Thank
you
you
for having us.
Okay, and I hope y'all have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you.